let's go. So a big welcome back to Wild Camping Kent. How are we? It's like I'm talking to people, but obviously you can't respond. Well, you can leave a message or leave a comment in the comment section below, and a like and a subscribe if you so wish. We are out on, I say we use we as a strange word, it's just me today. We are out on another camp, just gone back to my regular go-to spot really, and I've actually gone the wrong way. Okay, we are back on track. I'm actually going the right way. So something quite exciting in this video. We have a test and honest review of the Night Cat Hammock Tent. I have received one of these, never had one before. Going to get it set up. I'm going to walk through the process to see if it's easy to set up. I may have mentioned in my other previous videos that I'm not actually much of a hammock camping person. I just can't seem to get comfortable in it. So a lot is riding on this. So it needs to be successful. And from what I've seen, they look damn good. So it's basically a hammock tent that is suspended between the two trees. So essentially a hammock, but you're enclosed. So that's the tent element of it, and it actually works as a ground hooped bivvy as well. So for the record attempt, I will be using that as a hooped bivvy. So yeah. Anyway, let me bring you back, and we'll see how it sets up. Okay, so tarp set up. Why are we out here today? We are out here to have a camp in the Night Cat Hammock Tent, and this is really different to most things that you've seen on the market. Now, it is a growing trend. There are a number of different companies that are releasing such product. Night Cat seems to be a leading company that is leading the way in these sort of products, these tent come hammocks. And yeah, so let's see how easy it is to set up. Okay, let's see what we get. So in the pack there is a user manual, quite helpful I suppose. It does seem relatively easy to put up, but obviously we'll see nearer the time. What have we got? We've got the hammock itself, the fly cover, the 2 poles that are curved, this I'll show you in a bit, and in this little bag here we have, should be the straps. Let's have a look. So, whoa. Okay, so we've got the 2 anchor straps for the trees to hold the hammock in place. We've got 2 extremely lightweight, seem pretty decent pegs, and we've got 2 shock cord lengths. They are to stabilise the hammock once it's up, because you've got to remember this isn't actually, you know, like a hammock per se, it's a hammock tent, so you don't particularly want it moving around too much. So, but I'll bring you back and I'll show you how these things work. Okay, so let me firstly apologise for the sound. The road is not far off in that direction, and the sound is really travelling today, so if the sound drops out or it's hard to hear me, I do apologise. I'm trying my best. I'm going to look on Amazon for a Bluetooth microphone, which helps me be able to speak to you more clearer. Yeah, so let's have a look. So we're going to go round. I don't know how much you've got me in shot, but I'll get set up and I'll run through it with you. Now this allegedly is something that needs to be done quite tight. So where a normal hammock is at, like, probably a bit too high, you want a little bit of a bow in a hammock. This is slightly different. This is something that you'll want taut. So I'll just bring it down a little bit more. You can obviously adjust, not a problem. Okay, so both of the straps on the trees. We're now going to have a look at the hammock itself. So it's got, as your normal hammocks, basically 2 clamps at the end, which will go onto each of the tree straps, and like I said, you want to keep it quite tight, so bear with me. Okay, right, so that didn't actually go to plan. I was going to walk you through the setup of it, but it might not seem like it, but we are drastically losing light. So let me walk you around. So what we've got is, let me just spin you. Okay, so what we've got is the tree hugger strap runs down to a carabiner, which is holding on the outer. Okay, Night Cat. Okay, so what it is the hammock itself is tied into probably as tight as you can get it, and then the outer goes 1 or 2 notches up. Okay, there's a toggle up there that you can focus, tighten. Basically you want it's the same as a tent essentially. You just want the outer to be as tight as possible. So underneath the outer you've got 2 poppers, and basically that's going to cut out most of your wind that is whipping in and getting you a bit chilly. So around here, I mean, it's a lovely setup. You can see it's a really cool setup, and as you can see, this would work perfectly as a ground dwelling hoot bivvy, because it's actually got a bit of a waterproof bottom to it. You might not be able to see it, but it's pretty good. It's pretty hard wearing. The one thing that did strike me as quite surprising and a great little add-on is you can actually slip your sleeping mat in there. You might not be able to see it, but I've got a UL80 in there, and I'm a side sleeper, so hammocks aren't normally my thing. This looks potentially a game changer for me. So just the other side, you've got the same setup, tree hugger running down to a carabiner holding the outer on. Again, you can pull it tight. You've got 2 clips around this side holding on the outer to the hammock itself, and then these are what I was talking about, these sort of stabilizing shock cords. There's 2 of them, one either side. There's the other one just over here. And basically that stops it from, I mean, it's gonna move a bit, but that's essentially it. It's really cool, and obviously you know, I'm overdoing it because I don't need the tarp, because essentially the hammock is fully waterproof, and I've no need for a tarp. But I like a tarp. I can sit under it with my chair tonight, have some lights on, and I'm going to cook up some dinner. I've got some beef jerky. I'm going to cook up some beef. I'm going to have like a beef jerky stew. Seen it online. So but yeah, look at it. It's a really cool design. I like it. Anybody that's not into their hammock camping looks to be ideal for you. So I will bring you back in a bit. Let me just get set up for the rest before we lose completely the light. And yeah, let's fingers crossed for a decent night's sleep, because to be honest, I don't normally in a hammock. Night Cat, check them out. They're on Instagram, they're on YouTube. Some really cool YouTube videos displaying their products. Night Cat. I mean, there's a little bit of chat about the size of the, you know, logo on it. You know, it is what it is. There are the bigger ones. They had like the big cat and then a night cat on it. So this one is like the smaller design. Doesn't bother me too much because I don't particularly stealth camp, but anybody that might, you know, stealth camps may be able to do something. But no, really cool setup, and I'll bring you back in 2 shakes. Welcome back. So it's dinner time. I'm just going to use the lid for my chopping board, the lid of my pot that I've got to be cooking my stew in. Now, if I run through the ingredients with you, I have 2 packets of beef jerky. I have 1 potato. I've got a bag of sort of seasoning with some gravy mixes and stuff like that, salt and pepper. I've got 2 carrots. I'm not going to peel these, I'm just going to throw them in. It's going to be that sort of night. And a little, look at that, a little parsnip as well. So yeah, anyway, so let's get some chopped up try and quarter this as well as I can. Maybe just keep it like that. Just chop it into pieces. Quite often the skin holds the best nutrients anyway, so making an absolute pig of this. This, by the way, is just a more companion. It's a knockoff basically. It's got a 90-degree edge on it, which is quite good for ferro rods. It's a cheapie off of Amazon. Well worth a look. Obviously the Moras are fantastic, just a versatile, lovely little knife. But these are just as good, and these are like £10, £12. So let's get the parsnip in. I'd like to take this opportunity to say thanks. Basically, my channel, as it's small, I've got a lot of followers from my Instagram page. If you just like wandered upon this YouTube video, I have an Instagram page that works alongside this YouTube channel, and it's called Wild Camping Kent. Go check it out. And basically, my Instagram page is growing quite nicely. My YouTube it's doing well. It's doing well. Bearing in mind this is only the third video of it, but you know, I'd just like to say thanks for everyone's support. I love doing this anyway. I mean, I do this anyway regardless of the channel, but this just gives me another little sort of incentive to get out and share my adventures with you. You'll see my son in one of my other videos. He does normally come out with me. It's just tonight I wanted to try out the hammock tent. He loves a bivvy camp, my boy. You'll be able to see in my last video we bivvy camped at a different location, the same woodland, just a different location. And he really does like it. It's like some, you know, it's good to get him away from the screen. He's 12 years old, so, sorry, no it's not. I'm going to get told off. He's 11 years old. I'm going to get told off by the missus, but then hey ho, what's different? What is different? So anyway, that's the carrots. I tell you what, we're just going to cube these as best as we can. You know, it's not going to be pretty. I don't want it particularly need it to be pretty. Just want it to taste good and keep me warm. It's not particularly cold tonight, I wouldn't say. It's probably sort of 10 degrees at the moment. I think it's meant to drop down to about 4, so it's not too bad. I've got a sleeping bag that will cover me for more than what is needed anyway, and obviously as I'm in basically a tent, I don't really see where it's going to be any issue for me. So you knife lovers out there are probably wincing at my knife scraping against the top there, but it's not doing too much damage and it's okay. I can sharpen it when I get home. So anyway, fantastic little things. Right, so what have we got now? So we've got the 2 packets of basically jerky, it's biltong. So that's going to go in as well. That's going to be my meat element. And I'm hoping what that's going to do is sort of, you know, reinvigorate itself and become plump and interesting. It's quite nicely, it smells really good. It's quite nicely sort of flavoured, so it will sort of impart its flavours onto the stew hopefully. So yeah, right, so what have we got? We've got, let's just put that over here. Let's get our little Trangia going. It's a lovely little kit. Again, an Amazon purchase. Fantastic little thing. It's got its own little stand. it has got a it's got a simmer ring. Basically, if it's getting too much, you can just turn it down and let it simmer. Obviously, I'll bring this up to the boil and then let it simmer for a little while, let it cook away. And obviously the lid, it has a waterproof O-ring in it, so you can actually seal the liquid in and it doesn't go anywhere. You can put it in your pack. I do normally put it inside a sort of a sandwich bag or something like that, just in case it leaks. But I've not had anything yet, so no problems there. Right, let's get this going because I'm hungry and I need some food. So let's. There we go, eventually. Oh, what a palaver. Anyway, let's move this over to here. Let's get the stew on. Let's get some liquid. Obviously it's going to burn otherwise. Just enough. I mean, I'm sure I can add some more, you know, as we go. So I'll keep an eye on that. Let's get a little spoon. So you see what I did? I whittled myself a little spatula months ago, literally months ago, and it came out alright. It's my first bit of first little foray into carving. I think it came out alright. Let's just check this. Yep, still going good. Give that a little stir up, and we'll bring that to the boil, and then I will add some of the seasonings. Morning all. Bit of a chilly one. So, the first night in the Night Cat. What can I say? Really, really impressed. As I've alluded, I've not actually always been a hammock kind of person, but I may have been converted with this one. The space that you get inside is ridiculous compared to my other hammock that I have, and it's basically, well, it's a tent. It's a tent that's suspended between two trees. I slept best part of 7 hours. Again, for me, when I wild camp, it's on and off with sleep. Really, I don't know. You know, I don't tend to get too much, but 7 hours is a serious amount of sleep for me. So we've woken up to a bit of a fresh morning. It's there's a lot of damp in the air, and one thing I can say, that's absolutely bone dry under there. I didn't get damp or wet at all. The outer, I mean, we're covered by a tarp tonight, but it's a bit overkill, to be honest. But I like to sit out under the tarp for an evening. So you don't need a tarp because it's obviously got an outer, but this is bone dry. This is overall really happy with it. Go and check them out. They're a growing company, Night Cat, and they've got some really cool products. So I'm going to check out their backpacking one person tent. That looks really good. That looks, I think it's a hiking pole tent. So yeah, thanks for joining, and hope to see you soon. Goodbye. Thanks for watching the video, and as always, leave no trace.